Captain RTV, Karubeta Kamwe Hoko, Karubeta Kamwe Hoko, Captain RTV, the trumpet of hope, Captain RTV, Karubeta Kamwe Hoko, Karubeta Kamwe Hoko,
Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing all right. Karibu sana. This is the Trumpet of Hope, and yes, we are here. We want to make sure that we all know how and where and when and what to do to own a home. Karibu sana. I hope everything is fine. This is one of the part of the programs that we do to make sure that we enjoy life and we learn few things that we need to do when you're living here in the US. And tonight or today, I know some people would say, hey, it is lunchtime. Yes, others who are watching us from Jamhuri ya Kenya, watasema ya kwamba it is late at night. Are we live? Are we okay? Can you be able to see us? I just want to make sure that everybody can be able to see us and to hear us. Make sure that you give us a thumbs up, yeah? Give us a thumbs up, share with your friends. We are live on YouTube and we are also live on our page, Trumpet of Hope page. And with us, yeah, Mune. This is a very special day. Sasa hapa ni penye tunasema lisemwalo lipo.
Kama lipo laja.
Laja. Ukisikia mbiu la mgambo kuna likilia kuna jambo. So we are going to we are going to Eldoret, yeah, Rift Valley.
Chepkorio
ndani. You know what? I lived in Eldoret, so I have a connection with Eldoret for some reason. I love that place. It is beautiful. I worked in Sayara radio station for quite some time, and I worked with some people who came from Chepkorio ndani kule. Some great people, Victoria Boyd, Dr. Eli Rop, Kibiego Rapta Nui, Mr. Chebet of Bargetunye Plaza. So how are you?
I'm doing great.
Yes, I want you to take this opportunity to say hello to our viewers. Na watu wa Eldoret pia, you know, all those people. Watu kutoka Chepkorio. Waambie tuko ndani.
Tuko ndani. My name is Elsa, and I'm a real estate agent here in Houston, Texas. I've been doing this for 4 years, and today it's my pleasure to be part of this broadcast here so we can educate our people, understand the process of buying a home. It's not that complicated. It's doable. There's a lot of myths that people don't understand, and my goal is to help people understand the process so they can achieve the American dream of owning a home. So tune with us here today and come enjoy it. Ask us questions. I should be able to answer a couple of them, but whatever is left over, just write them down there, and I'll respond to them. Watu wote wa nyumbani, Chepkorio, na watumia salamu za hewani. But Forest too. That's where I got married to. So, na wasalimu nyote.
Nem, asante sana. So together with us is Elsa Kiprotich. Elsa Kiprotich is a realtor, and she will guide us through the process of buying a home. And this we are doing because of so many questions that people have been asking. By the way, let me just start off with just a question that is off the process.
Okay.
What is the advantage of buying a home in the US instead of living in an apartment or something?
The most important number one reason why you should own a home versus renting it is because you build your own equity. You're paying somebody else's bill by living in an apartment. Down the years, let's say you live in an apartment for 3 years, 5 years, something of the sort. When you get out of that apartment, nobody will give you equity and say you lived here for 5 years. Here's money that you got some equity. No, that's for the landlord. So you're building wealth for the landlord. If you are living in your own home, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, you're like, I'm tired. I want to move to another state. I want to move to another area. You sell that house, you have equity.
Awesome,
Yes.
awesome. So we are going to do what we call the first program of this whole process, or these. We'll divide it into different sections. The first one is the whole process. Elsa will guide us on the home buying process. And then after that, we will come again for another program where we will talk about other things in the whole process of buying the home. And I know if you have any question, you can ask, because we want to live in America and we want to live here and enjoy life here. Hey, it is important for you to know that you can buy a home in America. You can buy a home in America. And we have our very own Kenyan realtors. And tonight we have one of them right here in our studios. So tell us, the home buying process, what does it involve?
The home buying process, it's a state-by-state process. And just because, like any process, you have to start somewhere and then go to the next state, go to the next state, and go to the next state. So you cannot start here and jump over.
Yeah.
So the most important part is finding your real estate agent.
Good.
That's the most important step that you have to accomplish for you to be able to get a good guide throughout the entire process. Finding a real estate agent is somebody who is going to represent you. It's like when you go to the hospital, you go find a doctor. A doctor has the knowledge and everything to be able to treat you. So in this case, your real estate agent will be your doctor. So finding the right real estate agent is very important for you.
Very good.
You could go ahead.
Now, I'm thinking about the finding an agent. I thought that I can just go and buy a house without even looking for an agent.
So it will become complicated for you because, number one, you don't have the knowledge of real estate. If you say you can go buy a house, let's say there's a house that's listed on the market, and you go, how would you be able to access the property? Number one. Number two, how are you going to submit the offer for the property? Number three, who's going to guide you through the entire process? What you need to know, what you can negotiate for your side, what can the seller pay, what can the buyer pay,
Okay.
What can you negotiate and meet halfway? Who is going to guide you on the steps, like you're supposed to do an inspection? You have deadlines for the dates. Once you go under contract, you have deadlines to meet. You gotta submit earnest money, option fee, that kind of stuff. So if you don't know, it's just like you go to a butchery and you put your head inside and you tell them, cut me off.
Let me ask you a question. Like in Kenya, we have so many people who say we are selling land, and I do a lot of land promotions. What are the qualities, or what do I need to look for when saying this is the agent that I need to use?
Number one, you have options, like you can interview agents and tell them, I want you to represent me in buying the home. You got to find that agent that has your best interest for the client at heart.
Best interest for the client at heart. Please underline that.
Not somebody who is just there to make quick money and go, because it's not just about money. When you guide somebody home, when you help somebody to buy a house, this is long term. It's not like when you buy a pair of clothes or a pair of shoes, You're like, I don't want it, I can take it back. This is a 30-year commitment or 15-year commitment. So you got to find the right person that will hold your hand, that will babysit you and guide you until when you find the perfect home, get everything done and get everything closed. Now you can enjoy your home.
Thank you so much. That is important. When you want to buy a house or a home, it is important to have an agent. One is because they will be able to understand the whole process, and you're getting into a 30-year commitment or a 15-year commitment. And again, this is where you will be calling home. For example, my sister Elsa told me the other day, you get to buy a house, you need to consider, I have children, I'm just myself, I have boys and girls, I need a yard, or there are so many things. If at all you don't, the agent doesn't have the best interest, your best interest, and this is important, they'll just tell you, okay, go ahead and sign the contract, only to realize that the house that you signed a contract for cannot suit you.
Exactly.
And in the process, we'll look at the other things that we need to look at in the process of buying a house. Let's look at the next option. Okay, I get an agent.
Okay.
What next?
So once you find the agent, the next thing you need to do is to find out what's your financial power. By that, I mean, you need to get your pre-approval. So you have to apply for a mortgage with the lender. It can be your bank, it can be a credit union, it can be mortgage brokers, for example, like Guaranteed Rate or Bay Equity. That's just some of the companies that offers loans for purchasing houses. So it's very important for you to not skip that step, because once you apply for the loan, you know how high you can go, how low you can go, or what you can qualify for. Because you can go look for a house, find a house for, let's say, 350,000, and then you go back and apply for the loan, and the lender says, oh no, you can only go as high as 250. What did you do? You set up your expectations to be so high you can get this house for 350, yet you cannot. You've wasted your time, your realtor's time too, everything. And of course, time is money. So it's very important for you to get the pre-approval done, know what you qualify for. So when you go look for a house, you find the perfect house that meets your expectation, perfect, price, and pocket friendly, in the sense that you can afford it.
Thank you so much. Together with us is Elsa Kiprotich, and she is here to ensure that we buy houses and we own homes and we do it in the right way.
Exactly.
And I feel so good hosting her. And I know that we have some few questions. If you have any question, please feel free. We'll be able to answer them. You can write them down there and we will answer. You can share this with your friends. Let me ask you a question, by the way. What are some of the common mistakes that we as home buyers or potential home buyers do in the process of part 1 and part 2 of what you just said, that the selecting your agent and also obtaining financial approval?
The number one mistake for selecting the agent, some people go to, let's say, new construction. They get there and they find the salesperson for the office. They tell you, oh, you don't even need an agent.
Repeat that.
You go to new construction, you get there and the salesperson tells you, do you have an agent? You say no, or you might say yes. They say, oh no, you don't even need an agent. In fact, you'll save some money by not using an agent, which is not correct. Number one, that salesperson represents the builder. They don't represent you. They don't have your best interest at heart, like I said. Number two, they'll be guiding you towards the builder benefiting the most. So if it's making the most profit by cutting you out with your agent, not having an agent, that's what they'll go for. Number three, you don't know the whole process. They'll just tell you whatever you need to do, but there'll be some stuff that you can negotiate for without you having the knowledge, without you having a realtor helping you, representing you. You'll not be able to negotiate for anything. stuff like owner title policy, and we will explain everything in details. If not this session, it's going to be on the next one. Builder can pay for it. Do you know that the builder can pay for it? And no. Also, the builder sometimes they may tell you, will give you some concession towards closing costs. Is it a legit, let's say $5,000? Is it a legit $5,000, or they give you that and they turn around and they charge you lender fees what the same amount? Using the same builder's lender, you don't have the option to choose and decide if that's for sure who you want to go with, because you can shop for lenders. This is the land of the free.
Yes.
So you can choose for lenders, you can choose a few stuff here and there, and your realtor will give you that option and guide you and tell you, oh, by the way, here you have the option to use their preferred lender, you can use your own lender. So that's the number one mistake that people do. So you want somebody to represent you, to guide you. Sometimes this new construction, it don't get built the right way. How would you know that? Do you know you have the right to conduct an inspection even though it's a new construction?
Okay.
No, you don't. If you don't have an agent to guide you, they'll tell you, oh, we have done the inspection and everything is good to go, only to find out later that your house was not constructed the right way. And there are stories here and there, that stuff that happens about that. So your realtor is the most important person, and you don't pay out of pocket for it. It comes from the seller side. So if it's a new construction, the builder will pay for it. If it's a resale home, the seller pays for it. To talk about the financial approval, I can mention a few stuff that you will need, but we will do a lender topic later, whereby we'll do what type of loans, what you qualify for, the limits and stuff like that, the credit score and everything like that. But we'll do that on a different video because it can be so wide, to talk about that, the most important thing is, I tell my buyers, my clients, purchase what you can afford, because I don't want you to do double jobs, not even enjoy that house just for you to be able to pay the mortgage. So how do we do that? You work with the lender. You tell the lender, I can go as high as this, so you need to give me a limit for how much I can purchase. So even if you get approved for 500,000 home, remember, you can buy a 500,000 home, but at the end of the day, the lender will go after closing. They'll mind their own business. Elsa will not be there. Guess who is stuck with the mortgage? You,
the buyer.
Yes. So you need to buy what you're comfortable.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Together with us, this is a very special program. Remember that Trumpet of Hope, we are here to ensure that we give you hope. One of the things that we want to give you hope in is that you can own a home in the US. You can live in your own house. You can have your own yard back there whereby you grow your sukuma.
Yes.
And you eat organic and it becomes so good.
Yes.
And then you don't have, your children are jumping. You don't have anybody knocking. Yeah, when the children are jumping, then somebody is knocking the ceiling for you.
Yep.
Then it becomes so unreal and very uncomfortable. If you need any help, remember you can talk to Elsa Kiprotich. She works with the CB&A Realtors.
Yes.
She'll tell us more as we continue, and we'll share the numbers down there. So let's go to the process, the third process, or the third part of the process of buying a home.
Okay, so you selected your agent. You have done your pre-approval. You know how much you qualify for. What's the next thing to do? So the next thing to do is to analyze your needs.
Important.
Yes, very important. So your needs will be, why are you buying the house? Who are you going to be living with? Where do you work? Because it don't make sense to buy a house and drive 1 hour, 30 minutes to get to work. It beats the purpose. So we need to evaluate and see where you're going to be working at. Your kids' school, where are they going to be going? If you have special needs kids, the area that you want to buy a house, should be where there is a school that your kids can go. Security. Flooding is the other most important thing here in Houston. So we analyze your needs. Do you need a one story? Are you going to be living with parents down the line? Do you need a second bedroom downstairs? Uh, do you need all bedrooms upstairs? Because some people have young family, young kids. They don't want their kids, sleeping upstairs by themselves. So is that one of your needs, or you want separate? Sleep downstairs, kids upstairs. So we have to analyze your needs, know exactly how to help you find the perfect place. In terms of flooding here in Houston, like I said, it's very important. How we do it, once we find the house, we have insurance agents that we work with. There is zoning. So I send it to them and say, hey, can you help me find out what zoning this property is located? Is it in high flood zone, risk area, or it's not? So when you make that decision to say this is the house I want, you have the knowledge about everything for the property. What's
Wow.
the other most important thing is amenities in the community. Do you have kids who are athletic? Do you want a neighborhood that has a pool, or basketball, courts, tennis courts, anything like that? Are you a biking person? So you have to find a community where there are trails, so we gotta find the buyer needs so we can help them find the perfect property.
This is becoming interesting and real. We are together with Elsa Kiprotich. Elsa Kiprotich is a realtor with CB&A Realtors. Do you have any question that you want answered? We have done the first part of the process. The second one, that is you select your agent. It is important. Don't think that you can buy a home on your own. It is important to have an agent. The second part is obtaining a financial approval. And after you obtain the financial approvals, then you analyze your needs. And I think that is very important. So, as Elsa, so how do you guide the person to get a home? It's me. I want a home.
So now that we have met, we have done your pre-approval, you have told me what you're looking for. So we do have systems that we use. It's called the MLS, Multiple Listing Services, that we subscribe for. We pay a fee to be a member of it every year. So in the case of here, Houston, it's called Houston Association of Realtors. So we do have account there that I can create your search. You told me you want a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath within this area, this much square footage, and this is your price. I custom search your house according to your criteria. If there's anything that needs to be changed, and you can set the criteria, you can set the limits and the parameters whereby it can go as high as this or as low as this. It needs to be built within certain year, that kind of stuff. So once we do that, results will come up, maybe 20 homes that meets your criteria. I send them to you. If you have a spouse, I send to both your emails so both of you can go through it. Also, I do have a personal app. So once we meet, we talk about real estate, get pre-approval, know what you want. I send you a link, you download my personal app. With this personal app, you can see anything, houses on the market, under contract, sold, what did it sell for? So you can analyze the neighborhood and the area that you want to purchase the house. So once you do have the app, for example, if these properties that I have filtered meets your criteria, I can put it on your favorite list and it will appear on the app on your side. Also, if another house pops on the market, let's say today, and I go through it, I see it, it's what he's looking for, I just send it to you. It will pop on your phone like a text message. And then you can just go to the app and go through the houses, look at the pictures. Does this meet your criteria? You just click favorite. I know that's what you want to go look. You tell me my availability on this day, this day, this day. I make appointments. I take you to go tour the house.
Wow, this is interesting, and time is running real fast. Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you, Nganga Samuel. Yes, loud and clear. Pastor Patricia, thank you so much. Mercy DK. Moses Ngodo is actually here in Spring, Texas.
He was my client.
He was your
my
client?
Yes.
Awesome. Moses, thank you so much. Now I see the reason why there are Sukumas back there and a beautiful, beautiful yard down there. Thank you so much. I've visited his house and
Yeah.
we have a very nice yard up there.
Mhm.
Then Joyce Dirango, thank you. Bring in Kiki, Jamie. These are potential clients, by the way, from Huntsville.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure that you get them. Joyce Dirango, thank you so much. Faith Coletta, Monica Bukinya, thank you so much. Esther Gashoke, another potential client moving in from Kenya and UK to Texas.
Mwambie karibu.
Duta Wainaina, is it possible to get a realtor who can bargain against you as the buyer?
Bargain against you as the buyer.
Uh-huh.
If you find a realtor that bargains against you, that realtor does not have your best interest at heart. Because my job, if I have my client's best interest, I protect them. I negotiate for them. But also it comes down to there's facts and there's fiction. There's facts and what you are hoping for.
Mhm.
For example, if you do an inspection on a house, if it's a resale house, you don't expect the seller to fix everything that comes up on the inspection report. They will fix what affects the safety and functionality of the house. But wear and tear, it's, you take it or you leave it, you fix it for yourself. So if your realtor tells you, let me help you narrow down to what we can request, and these are the stuff you can do on your own. But if at the back of your mind, you want the seller to do everything, even though your realtor is advising you that this is what they can do, then maybe you'll be thinking that the realtor is bargaining against you.
Mhm.
But I really want to know more into that so I can know how to better respond to that.
All right, and
Yes.
Duta Wainaina, you can get Elsa Kiprotich number, and you'll be able to get more information.
Mhm.
And then Lawrence Lusaka
Mhm.
says, just eating my own sukuma na kunde
My client
after
too.
Elsa facilitated me into getting a very good house 2 months ago.
Yes,
So
that's
this
correct.
is a satisfied client.
Yes,
Thank you so much. Philip KB Watt.
that's my husband.
Good job, Madam Realtor.
I appreciate the support.
Thank you even for giving Elsa an opportunity to come and visit us in the Trumpet of Hope. And I know that this is the beginning of great things, and we're going to get more, and that becomes good. Okay, let's go to the other part. I already analyzed the buyers. You have already analyzed the needs of the buyer. What
Mhm.
next?
So after we analyze the needs, like I said, we mentioned select the properties,
Mhm.
and I told you how we can select the properties that meets your criteria. But then once we have that breakdown, we go, I make appointments for you. We go view the properties. So we do have different systems that we can use to make appointments. That's more into real estate stuff. But once you have given me a breakdown of the houses you want to go look,
Mhm.
I have to map them out and see where we can start and where our endpoint can be, so that we don't go back and forth. The driving can be crazy sometimes.
I can imagine.
Yes. So I map that out. And then I make appointments. Once I have the confirmation, I'll let you know we can begin here, and then we'll go this one, and then we go this, and this one will be the end.
No, very good. Thank you so much. I have seen the properties. I have visited the property. Then is it time for me to own the home?
Not yet. You're just getting started. So we go look at the properties. You tell me, this is my number one, this is my number two, my number three. So do you want to make an offer on your first one that you really like? Yes, I want to make an offer. So I go back and do a research. It's called a comparative market analysis. I see properties similar to that, what it has sold for in the past. And then I advise you, I share that information with you in a format, in a PDF format. So you can look at it yourself. It will have a range. This house is listed for 250. Other homes have sold between 250, maybe 239 to 250. So you decide what you want to make an offer for, because it's a willing seller, willing buyer.
Okay.
Yeah. So even if you go there and make an offer, say I want to buy it, it's listed for 250, but I want to buy this house for 260. Okay. I'll do that for you. So I do the contract, and we go through the paperwork so you understand what you'll be signing. And then I submit it to the listing agent, including the pre-approval letter from the lender. If you submit the offer without the pre-approval letter, it means nothing. Who knows, you can qualify for that house. So that's why I said this process is step by step. You get this first before you get here. If we submit an offer without a pre-approval letter, nobody can consider your offer. So, and by that, it's very important because maybe by the time you submit an offer, you find the house you like, but you don't have a pre-approval letter. By the time you go back and apply and supply the documents that the lender needs, by the time you come back with your pre-approval, the house that you really like is already gone.
Oh.
So I don't want to see you heartbroken like that.
I can imagine.
So let's do the process the right way. So when I write an offer for you, we submit it to this listing agent to discuss it with the seller. So the seller can accept it, can deny, or can counter offer. When they accept it, they accept the terms that you say, you put on the offer. You want to purchase it for $250. The seller says, okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and move forward. They can deny. Let's say the house is listed for $250. You decide to offer $220. That's $30,000 less. And if you do the CMA, like I said, I do the research. It's called a CMA, comparative market analysis. You have that, and it tells you houses here are selling between $239 and $250. Yet you submit an offer for $220. They'll be like, no, you're lowballing the seller and we're not interested in entertaining your offer. They'll say, let's wait for somebody else to come by. So I said they will accept it, they will deny or decline the offer, or they will counter offer. Counter offer means the seller says, you submitted an offer for $239. The house is listed for $250. If you can meet me at $245, then we can make this work. If you agree to that, the seller agrees to that, then everything is good. We move forward.
Very beautiful.
And so that's negotiating the terms. And then once everybody agreed to it, you accept the contract. Now, when you accept the contract, that means you're under contract. When you see some houses being posted on MLSs or Zillow or any other platform out there, it can be option pending or pending. So, and I'll explain what that means.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Before you explain to us what it means to be under contract, it is important for us to appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Trumpet of Hope. I'm the captain, and together with me is Elsa Kiprotich, working with the CB&A Realtors. If you need to own a home in a very, very systematic, professional, nice, efficient, and effective manner, you can call her. She will make sure that you get a home where you want, how you want, and it will be beautiful. And you will not cry. You will not get into a 30-year lease, a 30-year mortgage, only to start crying on the very first day, because she has done it, and she has done it to some of us who are here. Thank you so much, Monica. Thank you so much, Lawrence. Thank you, Joyce. Very true. Very true. It is important to have an agent. The other one is saying, on my private chat here, somebody is telling me, hi, Captain. Is it also important to have an agent while you're selling a home?
Yes.
We'll come to that.
We'll come to that. Let's talk about the home buying process this time around. But selling a home also, you'll need an agent. And I can explain a few points about that towards the end of this.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I have this issue called being under contract. Explain to us what that means. Then we proceed on.
So when you are under contract, that means the seller has accepted your terms that you presented, and the buyer has accepted the terms that, the seller accepted. So both of you have accepted, the terms. So when you go under contract, you can have, we negotiate for, for days for you to be able to do inspection. So it can be, I know the market is a little bit crazy right now, and we see 3 days for you to do inspection, as less as 4 days, but it can go as high as 10 days. Some will require an extension up to 14 days for you to do an inspection. So within that, let's say you get a 7-day option period, okay? So under contract, you have an option period. The option period is for you to conduct an inspection and decide if you still want to move forward with the house, or there is too many issues and the seller does not care to fix, and you want to back out of the deal. So within those 7 days, if you have inspectors, well and good, call your inspector scheduled to come in through during that time. I have a list of inspectors that we've worked with. I can always shoot you a list, and you can call and shop for the best rate that they can charge you, so that they'll come do an inspection for you within those 7 days. Once the inspection is done, he or she will send you an inspection report. Once you have the inspection report, if it's a resale house, we sit down or we talk over the phone and we discuss on this inspection report. Advice: I see this one here as a major issue. I see this one here needs to be addressed by the seller. I do something that's called an amendment for a repair request. I put everything and put include the pages for inspection in it, so they can see that this is the results that we found out after the inspection. So I send that to the agent, present it to the seller. So the seller will go through them the same way. We're still under negotiation. So the seller can say, okay, I'll choose to fix 1, 2, 3. I'll leave 4 and 5. You'll fix it on your own. The seller can say, okay, I'll fix everything. The seller can say, no, I don't want to fix any of them. The seller can say, instead of me fixing them, let me give you money in lieu of repairs so you can do it on your own. So once we get that answer back from the seller, you decide if it's something that it can work for you or it cannot work for you. Once you are under contract, you have to deliver 2 checks. It's an earnest money check. It's like a commitment fee, a deposit. I don't know how better to term it, but it basically shows that you're committed to buying the property. And the second thing is the option fee for the seller to take the house off the market for you to do inspection.
Okay.
So within those 7 days, you do your inspection, you get the results, try to negotiate within the 7 days. If you agree, well and good. Everything is moving forward. But what happens if you don't agree? So if you don't agree with the seller, you have the option to suck it up, take the house. If there's nothing major wrong with it, no foundation issue, roofing, electrical, plumbing. If there's nothing of major wrong with the house, maybe you can decide and say, you know what, I'll just take this house the way it is. I'll fix the stuff myself later. But if you decide not to move forward with the contract, you pay 2 deposits, the option fee and the earnest money. So you will not get the option fee back. You will get the earnest money back. The earnest money can be as high as 1%. Let's say you're buying a house for $350,000. That's $3,500. You get that back. Earnest money can be as high as $5,000. I mean, it's just negotiable amount. You get that back, but you have to do it within the 7 days. If you make up your mind after the 7 days, you are out of option period. That means more than definitely you will lose the earnest money, which is the $3,500 or $5,000. Now, the importance of having your agent is for your agent to know your deadlines. We have to do this by this time. Otherwise, this is what is going to happen. Your agent is the person that's supposed to represent you, communicate with you, and remind you of those very important deadlines. If you do it on your own, you know what can happen. You can lose your money big time.
Together with us is Elsa Kiprotich with CB&A Realtors. If you need any, if you have any question, please be sure to write to her, or you can even visit her page. She'll guide us with that. And on our next programs, we'll be able to handle all the other issues that we may not be able to handle today. Let me take a short break, just a short break, and we'll be able to come back and continue with our program, or the last part of our program, until we get into the house. Tarian Chebet is one of my friends, and in one of the works that we have been doing is promoting people who are buying a property back in Kenya. And let's hear what she has to say.
The most important consideration when investing into a property is, of course, asking yourself who owns it. I mean, just do your due diligence. And I'd like to tell you something about Rico Homes and Developments. They have been in the market since 2014, have developed a wide array of projects across the country, some of which you might know, such as the Panorama Heights, Panorama Regis, Hidden Hills as well in Nanyuki, and they are now developing this, which is the Naivasha View Estate. So what's the cost? An eighth of an acre goes for 500,000 shillings. A quarter of an acre goes for 950,000. You can either pay cash up front or you can spread your payments within 6-month installments. And guess what? You will get your title deed 60 days after completion of your payment.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. In case you need to buy property even in Kenya, we have people there. Let me give you the contact of our sister Elsa Kiprotich. Her cell phone number is right there. I hope I did it right. You can be able to call her. You can be able to text her, but not at this time, please. Not at this time. And then we will proceed on. Okay, now the house is under a contract, or the process is under contract. I'm learning a lot today also, and it's becoming interesting. So we have conducted the inspection.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get in the house and live there.
Not yet. So once you have done inspection and you agree with the terms that the seller say they were going to fix and everything, so what happens next? So now the lending process takes over.
Mm-hmm.
The lender will order an appraisal. What's an appraisal? So with an appraisal, the property that you're buying has to appraise for a value that the lender is willing to finance. So let's say you buy a house for 250,000. They will send an appraiser. They will do the same research like we were doing for comparative market analysis, but for them it's more into depth, so they have to go more deeper than we do. So they have to get that assurance that this house is worth 250,000. So what happens if the house does not appraise for 250,000? You have 3 options. The first option is to cancel that contract, go find another house, go back to square one.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
The second option is the seller, you negotiate with the seller to lower the price to what it has appraised for.
Mm-hmm.
If this house is listed for 250, let's say the appraisal comes at 240, and the seller says, it's okay, we can make it work at 240. Everybody has won in this case because you have not overpaid for the house,
mm-hmm.
and the seller, has not lost the contract on it. So you lower the price, it meets the appraisal value, and we move forward. The other option is you really like this house, and especially right now that the market is really crazy,
mm-hmm.
there is very low inventory and there is too many buyers out there. So it is what is called a seller's market. So the sellers has the power to decide. The sellers are sitting on the steering wheel. They're driving the market.
Mm.
So in that case, what I mean is if the house does not appraise and you really still want the house and you have cash out of pocket, so you can pay for the difference out of pocket. This house appraised for 240, you went under contract for 250, you pay 10,000 out of pocket. So like I said, right now, the market that we're in is very crazy. It's very typical that people are overpaying, or paying a lot of cash out of pocket just to be able to secure a property.
Okay.
But then when the market goes back to normal, it's balanced, buyer, seller, it's even, then you don't see a lot of people paying out of pocket for the property, not unless they really, 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 really love the property and they have the cash to pay out of pocket. So you have those options. But let's say the house appraises for the value, what happens next?
Mm-hmm.
So the lender, works on the paperwork to be able to provide, to help you secure the loan. So I don't know if you have a question there.
Yes, this is by the way.
Okay.
just within
Mm-hmm.
whatever you mentioned. This being a seller's market,
Mm-hmm.
would you advise somebody to buy a house now?
Yes.
Okay.
I would still buy a house right now, and the reason is the interest rate is super low.
Okay.
They anticipate the interest rate to go up towards the end of the year into next year. How does that affect you? Right now, with low interest rate, you can qualify for a house up to 250. But when the rates go up, you will not be qualifying for 250. You qualify for less, or even not qualify to buy a house. So in real estate, waiting, you will be losing way more money. And of course, the money that you lose, you'll not be able to get it.
So Kiki, you got it. Jamie, you got it. My sister Esther, you got it from the right person. And this is the time. And all the others who want to buy houses, this is the right time. And we have the right person right in the trumpet of hope. So you don't have to go anywhere. You'll just call her. She's just a text or a call away, and she'll guide you because she has the experience, efficiency, and effectiveness. Thank you so much.
Also, I can mention one very important point because right now the cost of materials is going up. The house that you are able to buy today, for example, let me give you a very good example. I have a client who built their house from scratch. We started the process last year, May. The house just got done. When appraisal came in, the house is appraising for way more than what they're paying for it. I mean, 45,000 more.
Wow.
So they are moving into that house with equity already. So if you decide so let me give you example, a very good example. If you are the buyer who decided to wait until now, the same house that they are buying for 350,000, you'll be paying 395,000 right now for the same house. So what that means is we are uncertain of the future, uncertain of the cost of material going up. We don't know what's going to happen. Uncertain of the interest rate. So you have to take advantage of everything right now because they are still low. If you can afford it, go for it right now. It's going to cost you way more to wait.
Martin Wanyabura Kohanatia, thank you so much. It's nice to see you all the way in Pennsylvania, and I hope that everything is doing good. All right, now let's step into the next level because myself, I want to get the key.
Okay, we are on the process. We are going there step by step. So once appraisal is ordered, the lender walks, in the back scenes back there, getting verification of employment for you. You have to have 2-year work history, your tax returns for 2 years. They need a pay stub, the most current pay stub, or they will need at least 2 of those. Your bank statements, and all these other requirements that the lender will need. Most important to mention about bank statements, you cannot have cash deposited in your account and expect to use that to purchase a house. So if you have saved up some money, stuck it in a mattress, you cannot use it. All the money that can be used for on the transaction has to have a paper trail. What does that mean? If I'm gifting you money, let's say you're a family member, a parent is helping their kid purchase a house, is gifting them the money for down payment or closing cost. The parent will have to provide a letter saying, I'm gifting my son money to use towards purchasing the house. They will see that transfer of money coming from the parent's account to your account. They will request that letter and they will request a bank statement from the parent and your statement showing how the money got in. But you cannot drop cash into your account. You have to have an explanation for that. So
How
once
long?
you are 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's very important during this process, once you're under contract, before you do anything that affects your financials, your credit, please, a phone call away to your lender. Ask the lender, hey, I want to transfer this money from here to here. I want to do this, blah, blah, blah. Would that affect me? Some people goes and buy a car 2 days or 1 week before closing on their house. What if you are just at the age of qualifying? Because they look at ratios, income to debt ratios. That's what they look at for them to consider how much you qualify for. So what if you go and buy a car, now you have a 30,000 debt that you didn't have when they qualified you. Now your debt ratio is higher compared to your income. Now you cannot qualify for a house and you cannot get approved for a loan. That's 1 week away to closing or 3 days away from closing, because they have to run your credit again 3 days before closing.
Wow. That is very important information. That means you should not just feel bad when somebody is buying a house and he or she requests some money or loan or something, and she says or he says no. It's because they have a process. And it is important to understand whatever is happening.
Also co-signing other people's debts.
Co-signing other people's debts. Who?
Yes, you need to be very, very, very careful about what you do. And like I said, you have these lenders that work with you. They are a phone call away. Before you do any commitment like that, go ahead and check. Because I had a client who co-signed a car for a friend, and we were in the process. He was very lucky that his income to debt ratio was not so tight, so he still had some room. But it was very tight. Probably he wouldn't have qualified for the house. So before you co-sign, make sure you know what you're putting yourself into.
Thank you. Other things that involve the home buying process, we have already obtained the appraisal. We have done the survey. We have done the resolving any issues. We have already conducted the inspection. We have already accepted the contract. We are now in it. We have already decided, okay.
Moving forward, yes.
We are moving forward.
Yes. So the lender will walk back scenes, get verification of employment, get everything squared away, your taxes, everything. Now, after that happens, you will have two approvals. Number one is conditional approval from the lender. So a conditional approval says this guy is approved for the loan pending, and that's the conditions. They have to meet these conditions. We have to get a letter from the employer saying he works full time. That's just an example of one of the conditions.
Okay.
We have to get a letter from employer saying this guy has worked here for how long, that kind of stuff. So once you meet that conditions, now you have your final approval. What does final approval mean? You've been approved for the mortgage. You're buying a house for $250 that has been approved. Now, what happens while the lender is working on all this approval, we do have a title company. What does the title company does? Here, I know states are different. Some people work with lawyers, like New York. I know they use lawyers instead of a title company. But the title company has to conduct a search, make sure there is no liens on the property.
Okay.
There is no tax liens. There is no, maybe you had somebody come replace the roof and you didn't pay them. They put a lien on the property. That's what I mean by saying a lien on the property. Do you owe somebody money that you didn't pay and they file against the property? So that the work for the title company is to conduct a search and make sure there is nothing. It's clean title before it gets transferred to you. What happens if there is those liens on the property? What happens to any liens here in Texas is that all those liens has to be paid before the title is transferred to your name. If somebody owes, maybe they mow the yard, you didn't pay them $30, they get paid their bill at that time before the title gets transferred to your name. So that's what it means by they remove any encumbrances, and then you obtain what's called a title insurance, ensuring you that the title is clean. There's nothing owed against this property.
Thank you.
Yes. So once that is done, you are very, very close to closing. You have your final approval from the lender. The title is clean. You still want this house. Remember, you committed yourself to move forward. What happens after that is the lender gives you the breakdown of what your monthly pay is going to be, how much cash to close you're supposed to bring to the closing table. And then the title, they balance it with the title company. Then now they will give you your amount. How much do you need to bring to the closing? which is the cash to close. That will include your down payment and closing costs.
And now we can get to party.
Almost to the party. Almost to the party. So to mention another very important point is the documents that the lenders require is a lot. It's not just one piece of paper.
Okay.
They ask them because they require them for you to be approved for the loan. Some people feel so intimidated. Some people feel, why do I have to provide this? Why do I have, he's asking for this again and again and again. Yes, they require them. They have to meet the criteria for them to qualify you for the loan. And that's the whole underwriting process. So do not feel intimidated when they ask you for these documents. Remember, they are loaning you money, $250,000. It's not $10, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to meet their criteria and the requirements for them to be able to approve you for the loan. So the best thing to do is when they ask these documents, supply them as soon as you can, because it will narrow the process, the time that you're wasting waiting for their approval. So lender is there to work for you and work with you. So if you help them to provide what is required, your journey to home ownership will be seamless, and that's what you want to experience.
I feel so excited that we are just about to close a home and we'll move in. The home buying process is long. One of the most important thing is you cannot do it on your own. It is important to have the agent who will be able to guide you through the whole process, because it is possible to get carried away or to get overwhelmed or to get cheated along the way.
Mhm.
And that is why Elsa is here. You can talk to her. Her telephone number is on the screen. And it is important for us to know that all this process is for you to effectively and efficiently and professionally live in a home that you feel that you owned and you will own for 30 years without any problem. Thank you so much for that, Fam. Now, tell us, can I get the key?
Almost there. So you have your final approval. You have your final approval. So they have to give you something that's called closing disclosure. It's a CD.
Disclosure.
Yes, you have to get that 3 days before closing.
Mhm.
So you go through it, think about it. Are you sure you want to commit yourself? Are you sure you want to commit yourself?
Wow.
So if you want
It's like
to
a
change your
wedding.
mind, yeah, you're getting married to a house. So they have to give you 3 days before closing to make sure everything is clear. Go through the figures, make sure human is to err. Errors happen sometimes here and there. Make sure that everything is clear. You are supposed to have a home warranty ordered. Was it put in there? Does the figures look right to you? Was there an error somewhere? Was there an incentive that they forgot to put it on there? So if everything is all clean, everything is all clear, now you have the figures, how much you're supposed to bring to closing. You're not bringing it in terms of cash. You can wire the funds to the title company, because that's where the transaction will happen. They work for the lender, to handle the transaction. That's where it's going to happen. So you can wire the funds there, but you need to be very, very careful when you wire the funds, because these people, they are out there, and what they do, they send you a scam email.
Okay.
So they can hack the title company emails, or even your own email. They can do that. So they may send you a very similar email and say, hey, we just changed wiring instructions. This is what you're supposed to do. You innocently go to the bank, boom, you wire your funds. $50,000, $30,000, however much money that you are supposed to take it to closing, it's gone. Are they able to recover? Nobody knows. Nobody knows that answer. Sometimes they are, sometimes they are not. So you need to be very careful during the entire process. Anybody sends you an email to wire funds or to do anything like that, call the title company, call your agent, say, that's why an agent is important for you. What if you get that email, you don't have an agent, and you're like, oh yeah, they're asking me to wire the funds for closing. Everything looks good now. Let me go ahead and wire the funds. It's gone. That means you're not able to close on the house anymore. So anyway, the different ways to bring the cash to closing, you wire the funds, or you can bring a cashier's check. So you go to the bank, They give you a cashier's check. They might ask you what the money is for. You have your contract and everything. So say this is for closing on a house, but I'm going to close tomorrow or today. It can happen the same day. But before we go to closing, we have to go do a last inspection at the house. Make sure that if there's items that the seller was supposed to fix, make sure it's fixed. You go look at the house, make sure it didn't burn down, and you go sign on the documents and there's nothing. So you have to make sure, go look at the property again. Everything looks good. Remember, there was a freeze here in Texas the other day. Go look at the house, make sure the pipes didn't burst, because you can go sign on the documents. Once it's signed, it's funded, it's your house, and you have to deal with insurance to get those claims paid and the damages fixed. So it's very important to do the last walkthrough of the house, make sure everything is good. Now you've done your walkthrough, you have your closing date set up and time. You show up at closing. If you're married, you have to have your spouse with you. Otherwise, you have to have a power of attorney to do that, to be able to do that. You don't have to be physically present, but you have to arrange for the title company to send you a mobile notary so that somebody can come have you sign the documents where you'll be at. So there are different ways where you can do your closing, but you just have to communicate in advance. If you're going to use a power of attorney, that has to be approved by a title company a couple of weeks before the closing date. So it's very important to know and to communicate which way are you going to be closing. Is your spouse traveling out of country and he will not be there on the day of closing? If so, then you need to organize for the power of attorney.
Wow. So it is not just very easy to own a home and to live in it. There's a whole process. And that is why we wanted to learn these things from an expert. This is a consultation, yeah? And very important. We want to appreciate Elsa. And in case you have any question, you can call her. She'll be able to support you. She'll be able to guide you. One of the things that I know about Elsa is that she has the best interest of the customer. She has helped so many people, and she has even saved others who would have fallen down into a very deep pit that has no bottom. But she helps. This is important.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We thank you so much.
Yes. So on closing date, you sign the documents, the seller signs it, they send it to the lender, and they approve everything looks good. Now, the party is beginning when
But it is not yet.
When you hear the transaction has been funded. That's it. Let's party now. So transaction has funded means what? Your lender has paid the money to the seller. Everything is all settled. Now you own the home. You can have the keys. You can move in anytime. So when you close on a house, you can own the house the same day. Here in Texas, I know different states are different, but yes. But now you own the house. You can have the keys and you can move in as soon as you want.
Can you buy a house when you're not in, for example, you're not in the US?
It becomes complicated. Yes. It depends how you want to do it. It depends how you're going to finance it. Because remember, if you're obtaining the mortgage and everything, they need your 2-year tax return. They need work history, employment history. Are you able to provide that? Bank statements, are you able to provide that? So it's case by case. If you are able to purchase a house, if you are buying cash, yes, you can.
Thank you so much. That's a lot of good information.
Yes.
That we only take advantage of being in the Trumpet of Hope. It is only here where you can be able to get such information. Otherwise, it doesn't come just so easily. And a CB and A Realtors, that is where Elsa Kiprotich works. And as a realtor, she has given us a lot of information. What is the best thing that we can do to her? Make sure that you call her, write to her, ask her more questions. And even if you have anything that you would want her to handle in our next short program now, at least the next one will be, short one. She'll be able to handle that. I don't know what you have to say to our viewers and those who will watch this program thereafter.
What I would like to say is we're here to help. I'm here to help. If you have any questions, if you have not sure about what about home buying process, definitely give me a call. Text me. Also on Facebook, I go by the name Elsa B. Williams, but don't ask me why. So you can look me up on Facebook, and we can be friends. I do tours sometimes here and there when I go to look at my client's house, that kind of stuff. So we can be friends, and you can see what type of houses I help my clients find. I really love my job. So I really like helping people, guide them home, and make sure that they find a place that they are satisfied to raise their kids, and call it home together with the family. So that's just who I am. I'm a very simple person, down to earth. I
That
appreciate.
one I can bear witness.
Yes, and I really help. Napenda kusaidia watu wangu kama jinsi ningependa mimi mwenyewe nisaidiwe. So that's just how I do it. At the end of it all, just know we'll be friends, because with all my clients, we create that friendship, because I'm a very friendly person, at the same time professional, and I make sure you get the best deals. I'll advise you and tell you, nikiangalia hii sioni kama inakaa mzuri, unaona nini, tuelekea huku. So mi hufanya kutoka ndani ya roho yangu, na I really want my people to be happy, to be satisfied with the house they find, and all that.
I'm so excited. Nimefurahia sana.
Yes.
So kwa Wakenya ndugu zetu ambao wanatusikiza, ukitaka nyumba usianze kukimbia huko, ongea na Elsa, namba yake iko pale 832, rudia
832 388-2524.
832-388-2524. Call her, text her, check her on Facebook, and she's going to make sure that you get a house. She's going to make sure that you get a house. So, to your husband,
Yes.
Thank you so much for allowing Elsa to help the community and even to come here. So I hope that on the I saw the DJ. Sasa si tutaongea sasa Friday.
Yeah.
Akuje acheze mziki. Tutaleta studio yote kwa huko, alafu acheze mziki in Trumpet of Hope, and I know that will be good. And then make sure that there is mursik.
Mursik itakuwa tena kwa sotet. And when DJ plays, my son, our son Ivan, he's 7 years old. Anapenda sana nyimbo za kikale. So you'll have a dancer. But yes, I do have resources for you all. Once we meet, we talk about home buying process. Hii kitabu hapa hivi, it's customized. You'll see my face right there saying Elsa.
Yep.
Yes, but it gives you a summary of everything. So you do have the home buying process right here, that you can be following step by step. And it also gives you those warning of what not to do once you're under contract and that kind of stuff. Once in a while, we'll talk about different stuff. And like I said, I committed myself to help my community. And I appreciate the captain himself, for the opportunity to be here and to talk about home buying process. I'm here to help my community. So put those questions and anything else that you want us to discuss down here. And as we grow and become better, we'll be inviting like the lenders, so they can come talk about qualifying stuff for you to qualify for a house. We'll be inviting people who fixes credit, so they can help you if you have bad credit, what you need to do. And also what to come at the inspectors and the insurance people, so when you buy a house, what are you insuring, and how much amount are you supposed to insure? Flooding insurance, are you supposed to get it? That kind of stuff. So we are here to help, and it's going to be a journey. Let's work together.
Thank you. This is the first part of this program, and I know we'll do more, as Elsa has promised. You can get more information. You can call her. This is awesome. CB and A Realtors. and Elsa Kiprotich, our very own, succeeding and making it abroad. Here is, we are in Texas, Houston area, and we feel so good to have all of you watching this, and I know that you will share. And in case you have any question, please feel free to call us, feel free to write to us, and feel free to talk to Elsa. By the way, if I want a commercial building, do you also deal with that, or it's just
right now I'm focused on residential because to do commercial I will need to do some more classes, but that will be my next, it's on my bucket list.
The other thing is, if I need for example a farmhouse, instead of just buying, if I need to get a farm, a big ranch,
that one I can do.
Awesome. Yeah, so Mzee Tiba, tunanunua shamba huko Texas kubwa na itakuwa maridadi, and now we have the person to handle everything. Thank you so much. Your final words.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you for the viewers, the questions that they will ask, what we have responded to, what we have not responded. We will take care of that. Call me, text me. I'm just a phone call away. I might be busy, but I'm never busy for you. So I'm here to help you, guide you home, and find the place to call home for your family.
We have our friend Carol from the Sparry.
Yes.
What do you have to say about her and the Sparry?
The Sparry is what do we call? A place where you can book to have your events, wedding, birthday celebrations, what else? Graduations. So we want to
baby shower.
Baby shower, yes, we forgot about that one. So the Spur is here in Spring, off of Rayford Road and 45. So it's located here in the heart of Spring. We want to appreciate Carol for giving us the opportunity to do this here. And of course, if you need a place to host your events, please, Spur is the place to be. Carol is down to earth, and it's very beautiful. So
thank you. All right, so bye. God bless you so much. It was nice meeting you. It was nice having you around. Thank you so much. Hey, that was beautiful. That was good. Thank you so much. In case you have any question, you have the numbers down there. Please make a point of calling. My goodness, I didn't say that. Make a point of calling our sister Elsa Kiprotich. And the numbers are down there. Thank you so much, and God bless you. This is the Trumpet of Hope. Bye.
Captain RTV, the trumpet of hope. Captain RTV.